Greetings everyone, welcome back to my channel Data Sculptor. Today we are going to see few interesting Power BI questions that can be asked in interview. So this is just part 1 of the series that I'm going to make. So please watch the entire video to learn some interesting things about Power BI. So first thing, I have framed few 4 questions and let's see how to solve this in Power BI. I think at least one of them will be asked in your interviews. Okay, so let's go through each of the question one by one. So the first question is how to make sure that the filter applied through slicer is applied to all the pages. Okay, so for example, I have a table called sales. It has 4 columns: customer, price, product, and quantity. So for a better explanation, what I'll do, I will just use the customer field and I'll change it to a slicer. And so if you see this A and B, I'll make this slicer as a drop down. If I click a drop down, A and B is coming, and I'll enable search as well. So if I enable search, search also will come, and A and B values will be coming. I can select on any of the value or either both of the values. So if you want to select either any of the value or either both of the values, you'll have a selection option. So in the selection you have single select, multi select with control, show select all. Okay. So suppose if you have enabled single select, either one of them will be automatically selected. So it's like a radio button. I hope you all know what radio button is. So it acts like a radio button. And next thing is in the single select, suppose, and next option is multi select with control. So if you enable this, you need to click control button and then click on multi select and then click on the other option so that both of these values will be filtered out. But if you do not click control, only one of them will be filtered out. Okay, so this option is multi select only if you click control. Suppose if you disable this, you can without control also you'll be able to select multiple things. Okay, this is the multi select. So select all. If you enable this, you will see select all option will select automatically all the options, all the values. And if you want to say only A, you can check out B and automatically A value will be selected. So this is the filter slicer properties. Okay, so now coming back to the question, we need to make sure that the filter applied through slicer is applied to all the pages. Okay, so this slicer is there. Okay, uh, the question here mentioned is applied through slicer, right? If this is not mentioned, you can automatically add this in filters on. You can use this option filters on this page, filters on all page. You can directly use the this particular filter and filter on all pages, and automatically it will apply filter. So let's see both the methods. So first, I'll use this filter on all pages. For example, I'll just for timing, I'll show you. We'll create a small chart called price, sum of price, and if I select A, it will be showing A's price of 85, and if I select B, it will be showing B's price 65. Okay, so now in the other page created, I'll just show a quantity. Okay, I'll make it as a table. Sum of quantity is 18. So suppose if I select say here B is selected, so 6 it will be showing. Here also if you select here also automatically B is getting passed. So if you see here over this customer is not A, so that means B is passed. Okay, so this is one way where you can apply a single filter on all the pages. So you can use the filters on all pages and that will be applied. But here the question is make sure that the slicer filter applied through slicer is applied to all the pages, right? So what I'll do, I'll copy this customer slicer, and in page 2 also in whatever page I want, I'll keep it in that page also. So if you see one or more of the copied visuals can stay in sync with the visual it is copied from. Do you want to keep them in sync? Okay, for now click don't sync. I'll explain you what this means. Click on don't sync. So what is happening now, let's remove this. So now what is happening, I'll keep the product also customer also here so that we'll understand. A and B is there. A and B is there. Okay, so now if I'm selecting A, only A's data we are seeing. If you're selecting B, both A and B, then B is everything we are seeing. If you select B, only B is seeing. And in page 1 also, if A is happening, A is selected. Okay, we'll drag the customer also here. Okay, So A is selected, A's price is shown, B is selected, only B's price is shown. So the question is, whatever filter, whatever value you apply here, we have to make sure that this value is applied in the other page also. So what you have to do, you have to go to the view option. You can go to the sync slicers. So if you click on sync slicers and you click on this, you see this, there are two options, sync and visible. Okay, so this customer particular slicer is visible in both the pages, but here sync is disabled. So what you'll do is just enable them. So if you enable them, what will happen, this value will be passed here also. Okay, B is also passed here. Now if what I'm saying, I'm deselecting everything, I'm not applying any filter. If you go back here, that same thing will be overridden here. Okay, now if you select A, yeah, now if you select A and go back to page 2, A will also be overridden here. So you can apply this filter on any page, and once if you sync this, if you sync this slicer in all the pages, in whatever page you apply that, in all other pages it will be in sync. So that is the answer here, how to make sure that the filter applied to the slicer is applied to all the pages. So you have to use the sync slicers option. So by default, as shown earlier, when you copy this, it will automatically be in sync. It will ask whether you want to be in sync or not. If it's up to you, if you want to be in sync, you have to click OK, else you can click not OK. So this is the first question. And second question, a slicer should slice only few visuals in the report. How to do it? Okay. So this is the slicer, and now currently A, A and B it is showing. I'll create one more chart with the customer and also with the quantity. Okay. So now two charts are there. So now if I apply select any filter B, it is slicing. I mean, this filter is being applied on both the charts, right? But here the question is, it should slice only few visuals. Okay, so that means, so basically if you select any value in this filter, it should slice only, my requirement is it slice only this chart, but it should not slice this chart with the quantity details. Okay, so how to do that? So how to do that? Very simple. In Power BI, you can click on this and you have something called format, and you have an option called edit interactions. So edit interactions, what it will do, it will make sure if you hover this, this is the definition. So change how visuals interact when data points are selected. While in edit mode, select the source visual and choose behaviors using that icons to appear. Okay. So when I have selected this visual for each of these other two charts, I'm seeing, okay. So no, while selecting this visual for these two charts, okay, this is this question I have kept it in a text box, so that is also being considered here. But ideally, when I select this, if you see these two charts, two icons you're seeing, one is filter and second option is none. Okay, so now if I don't want this slicer value to be filtered for this visual, I'll enable this none option. Okay, so once I enable this none option, I'll go back here and select A. So now only this visual is getting filtered. This value is applied to only this visual. This visual interaction is disabled. So that's why interaction, if I disable the interaction, whatever values are getting filtered over here, that will not be applied to this, visual. Okay, so if I clear this, now again, this is not changing, but this is changing. Okay, so now will the vice versa also happen? Like if I click on this B, here B is getting filtered out. Okay, in customer, both A and B are getting filtered. Okay, um, so yeah, I hope you understood. So how to do that? You have to use the edit interactions. Edit interactions. So click on that particular slicer and go to format and click on edit interactions. So then you'll see this filter and none. Again, if you want this filtering to be enabled, now you can click on this filter option. Then that filtering will be enabled again. Okay. So once you have done your work, you can remove the edit interactions also. So edit interactions is a very nice method. So it will help you to optimize your page performance also. That will cover more about performance optimizations in the further videos, but it's just an FI. Okay. So next question, what is the difference between calculated column and measures? Okay. So Yeah, let's remove this sync slices, not required. Now, so what is the difference between calculated column and measures? So calculated column is nothing but in the table, if you want to have a new column. So suppose let's go to table view. For the sales table, you have these four columns, right? Customer, product, price, and quantity. So calculated column is nothing. When you create a new column, that values of that column will be dependent on the other columns in the table, or that can be in the same table, or that can be in any other table. Okay, so now I'll create a calculated column for you. So you click on new column on this table, and here new column got created. Say here I'll keep sales. Okay, sales is nothing but price, sales of price multiplied by quantity, sales of quantity. If I write this, so for each and every row, this operation will be calculated, this operation will be performed. So, and the column name is sales. So whatever we have given here, that will be replaced as the column name. And for each and every row, this operation will be performed. So sales of price into sales of quantity. 30 into 2 is 60. 40 into 3 is 120. Like that, for each and every row, this operation will be performed. And this column will be created. So when again, if you try to refresh this table with new data, these values will be updated, these four values will be updated, and also this column value will be updated based on this new data. So this is what calculated column is. And measure, and next thing is measure. So measure is something which will be applied on the entire table or a piece of table. Okay, so it will not be applied row by row. It will take an entire table, and based on the values of all the rows in the column, it will be the value will be given. Suppose if I want to have the sum of quantity sold, total quantity sold. So what I have to do? I have to do 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3. That means I'm taking a particular table, and I'm taking a particular column, and I'm performing an operation on that column level. Okay, so when I do sum of say for the measure which we discussed right now, say I'll create this measure called total quantity sold. Okay, you can just go to this option, more options. You can just go to this three button and click on new measure. So new measure, it'll this particular bar will be shown, and here you can name the measure as total quantity sold. So whatever name you want, you can keep, and here it is sum of sales. So column name is required. So quantity. So here what is happening? We are taking an entire table or a column in a table. So vertically operations are happening, and this measure will always return you a single value. Okay, so a measure will always return you a single value. Calculated column will always return you value based on the particular row. Okay, so that is the difference between calculated column and measures. And next thing is calculated total sales. So these three are a bit theory part, and next one is the something related to DAX. Okay, so DAX is nothing but the language which you use in Power BI. So question is calculate the total sales product multiplied by quantity without using the calculated column. So what is the question? That you want to find the total sales product into quantity without using calculated column. So first let's see how to calculate with using the calculated column. So with using the calculated column, we have already created this calculated column with product of uh, product and quantity, right? Sorry, this is a quantity into price, it is not product. So we have already created the calculated column, which is price multiplied by quantity. And what we will do, total sales measure will create as, again click on new measure, and total sales, total sales is equal to directly sum of this column is the sales of sales. So here if you see, the argument is only column name. So the sales already a column name is there. So directly we can use select that, and if you close that, the total sales will be created, and you can directly use this total sales. You can drag this, and you can directly see the value 535 value. Okay, but the question here is calculate the total sales without using the calculated column. So how to do this without calculated column? So first again we have to create a new measure. So total sales CC, okay, WCC I'll create without calculated column is nothing but simple sum of sum x. We have to use sum x here, okay, sum x of if you see the arguments, there are two, table and an expression. So table, what will we do? um, for table, what table you want to use? So here we want to use the sales table, right? Sales table comma expression. So returns the sum of an expression evaluated for each row in a table, right? So what will happen in sales? Sum of an expression. So here, what is the expression that I have to use? I have to use the price into quantity, right? Sales of price multiplied by sales of quantity, okay? And I just click on OK, and measure is created. And if I just drag it here, so if you see 535 is created. So in the first measure, I had directly used a calculated column and use some function here. And if you do not want to use calculated column, you have to use sum x function. So sum x, inside the sum x, you take the argument, first argument as table name, and on the table, whatever data you have taken in the table, what operation you want to perform on the table for each row. So for each row, I want to perform the price into quantity. Whatever value I get for each row, the price into quantity, that I'll be doing the sum for all the rows. So that's what is happening. Okay, so if you want to learn more about SumX, you can see on the top right, there is a video between difference between Sum and SumX. So you'll understand more on that. So these are the four questions. This is the first video of this series. So in next further videos, we'll see more questions like what is row level security, examples, what is row level security, how to apply the row level security, and how to retrieve calculated tables and all. Many more questions are coming on your way. So if you have watched the video till now, please click on the like button so that it will help me create more videos, and also click on subscribe button so that you can watch, you can get more videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.